Hey guys, welcome to my channel. My name is Hannah. For today's video, we're going to be doing a full face of nothing new. So pretty much I just went through my collection, picked out products that are older but I still love them, or I just haven't reached for them in a while, and just used them in this video. So I have a lot of products that I used to love or I still love and I just don't use them as much on camera. Subscribe down below, give this video a thumbs up if you do enjoy it, and if you want to see my full face of nothing new, then just keep on watching. Okay guys, so we're just gonna go ahead and get started. So for this look, I'm gonna be using the Lunar Beauty Life's a Drag palette. I've only used 3 shades, so you don't have to have this palette to be able to do this look. I'm gonna go with my Morphe M441 and I'm gonna mix these 2 shades together. One's a little bit cooler and one's a little bit warmer. And I just want a transition shade. You could use your bronzer for this part. You could skip this part altogether. I just wanted to define the crease a little bit before what was I saying? I just wanted to define the crease a little bit before I go with the liner, but again, you can skip this part if you want to. For the next part, to start the liner, I'm gonna go ahead and draw the actual winged liner part first before we do the other part. So I'm gonna go in with the deepest brown in this palette, which is called Mug, and I'm going to take it on an R45, which is just an angled liner brush, and I'm gonna just start making a wing liner just like I do with anything. We are going to smoke it out, so it doesn't have to be perfect. So for the actual inner part, I'm going to go in with the M2501, which is a really small detail liner brush. And I'm going to go back in with the Mug shade, which was the deepest brown. And we're just going to start making a liner crease. I'm almost going a little bit above my actual crease. Again, we are smoking this out. And now I'm going to go with the pencil brush. This is the Lavish pencil brush. So that's what it looks like. This is just going to help us to blend this out. You can use, I wouldn't use a bigger brush just because it's going to get messy. And I really want to keep this in the crease and very pointed. So I'm going to go and start blending this out. Okay, and I am going to start blending out my actual wing liner, and I'm just going to mix Sickening and Mug just so we can help this liner to blend out a little bit more. Hopefully you can see me. I have to get so close to do this. And we're going to kind of connect the top line to the wing liner. And then I'm just going to take a makeup wipe and clean all of that up, the wing liner and everything, just so we can kind of see where we're at and really sharpen this look up. I think I took a little too much off, just a little bit. So we're just going to redefine that wing since I took just a little bit too much, a little bit more than I wanted off. And we're pretty much just going to be going back and forth, smoking it out. I'm just going to take a little flat brush. I don't have any extra concealer on it, or I don't have any more concealer on it. I'm just using whatever is on it already. And when I use it, I'm just going to kind of straighten and clean this up just a little bit. If I put more concealer on this brush, it would definitely make it harder, because then I'd have to blend out that concealer. And I'm going to take a big flat, this is just like a shader brush. Is that what it's called? No, a lid packing brush. This is by Morphe, the M166. And I'm going to take Cake Face in the palette, just a little bit, and kind of just pat over the lid. Kind of define it a little more, make it a little bit more bold. I'm gonna go in with my L'Oreal Voluminous Lash Paradise mascara. So that look was super easy, honestly easier than I thought, but it definitely takes some patience with like blending and like trusting that it's going to turn out okay. And since today is a full face of nothing new, I'm gonna be using some of my products that I used to love. So for starters, I'm gonna go in with the Too Faced Hangover RX Replenishing Face Primer. I haven't used this forever, since way before I started my channel. I love this stuff. And I still use it all the time. I feel like I don't use it on camera quite as much. I feel like it just really hydrates the skin without making me oily, and it kind of leaves just a nice base for your foundation to go on. And then for pore filling, I'm gonna go in with the Tarte Timeless Smoothing Face Primer. I definitely don't use this one on camera a lot, but as you can see, I use it quite a bit. I made a pretty good dent in it, and I wanted to pull this one out today. I feel like if you use too much of this primer, it can get a little clumpy, so just use like, you honestly need a little tiny bit. A little goes a long way, and I kind of just like to push this one in. And for foundation, I'm going to be going in with the Maybelline Matte and Poreless Normal to Oily foundation. I have mine in the shade 102 Fair Porcelain, but this is one of my favorite foundations from the drugstore. It's got a nice, I wouldn't say it's a super matte finish. I would say it's kind of like a satin to demi-matte finish. It's definitely not dewy by any means, but it does have a very pretty, just natural skin-like finish. And I would say it's like medium buildable coverage. They do have a dewy version if you have dry skin and you like a more dewy kind of look, but I like a matte look since I do have oily skin. So I'm just gonna start blending this one out. The only thing that I don't really love about this foundation is it doesn't come with a pump. I kind of hate foundations that don't have a pump because I feel like you kind of make a mess and you kind of pour too much out, so you end up just wasting product. This brush is a little bit fluffy, so it's kind of giving us a little bit more of a medium coverage. This is the Alamar bronzer brush, but like I've said before, I use this one for foundation. Okay, and for concealer, I'm going to use the L'Oreal Flawless Fusion Ultra Longwear Concealer in the shade 1N. I've loved this concealer. This was one of the first like high-end concealers I tried. The shade is a little dark for me, but hopefully we can brighten it up with some powder. But I love this concealer. It does have kind of like a medium buildable coverage, but I really love it for everyday and full glam. I feel like it lasts a really long time, and I just really like it. Ooh. And I still use it all the time. I just don't know, it's been a little while since I've used it on camera. And then I'm going to go in with my sponge. This is the, I think, makeup eraser or something like that. I can't exactly remember, but I do like it. I just definitely, like I'll say with every sponge, I like my e.l.f. one just as much, and it's cheaper. Well, actually, I don't know how much this one is, but I'm pretty sure it's cheaper. Okay, and now I'm gonna go ahead and go in with powder. So for powder, I'm gonna go in with the Laura Mercier Translucent Setting Powder. I feel like this is like an oldie but a goodie. I'm pretty sure everyone has used this powder since it came out like a few years. It's been quite a while actually. It's probably been like 5 years ago at this point. I might have to go with just a little bit of a brightening shade, just to kind of make it a little bit brighter underneath the eyes, since that concealer shade is just a little dark for me. I need like one shade down. That's the only thing about Laura Mercier I will say is I feel like their concealers, or just their cream face products, run dark just in general, so I should have went a shade down because I have the Radiance Perfecting foundation from them and it's a little dark too. Bronzer. Oh, let me go with this big fluffy brush. I like to do this, especially if I set my entire face with loose powder. I feel like I just want to make sure all that powder is pushed in and that there's no excess just sitting on the face. So now I'm going to go ahead and go with bronzer. This is the Hoola Light Bronzer. I was going to use my Fenty Beauty bronzers, but I feel like I've used them so many times at this point that we're kind of like, okay girl, we get it. You like the Fenty Beauty bronzers. But I also really love the Hoola Light one. I've never tried the regular Hoola. I've only ever used the Hoola Light, but I do really like this one. It's very comparable to the Kylie Khaki bronzer or the Fenty Beauty Into Sun bronzer. It's kind of that same shade. But I'm first kind of sculpting the cheeks. I wouldn't say really contouring, just like a rough contour with the Morphe X Jaclyn Hill JH05 brush. I hate when I have like acne on where I bronze and blush and stuff because I feel like it just never looks as good. I'm gonna go with the big fluffy brush. This is the Morphe M527. And we're just gonna bronze this face up. Okay, and just to add a little bit of color to the nose, not actually contour it, I'm going to go in with this Luna Magic Brush. I've been really liking this for my nose. And I'm just going to take a little bit of that bronzer. And I'm just going to kind of add color to the sides. I kind of really do it all over. I definitely don't contour. I am going to bake just a little bit under this bronzer just because I just want it to be cleaned up a little bit more. So I'm just taking a little bit of that Mercier powder and just cleaning it up. I'm gonna finish up the eyes. I think I'm just gonna do a little bit of brown underneath the eyes, nothing crazy. Okay, this is the ColourPop Mr. Bing eyeliner. It's just kind of like a warm brown. I'm gonna put this in my waterline. Take a little bit of this brown on that pencil brush that we use and just kind of push up against the lash line. I'm just going to take this M564 and just take the transition shades we use, these two, and just blend that out. I'm going to go ahead and push in this bake. Just because I don't really care for this to bake a super long time. I just want to clean it up. I don't want it to come too harsh. But I am going to go in with my 3 Steps to Sculpt palette by NYX. I'm going to take this like pinky cream shade just to kind of brighten up underneath the eyes. I'm going to take it on my E48 brush. It's just like a small pointed under eye brush. And I'm just going to push a little bit just to kind of brighten it up ever so slightly. All right, and to spray my face, I'm gonna go in with the Mario Badescu face spray. Just before we apply highlighter, I've been wearing highlighter again, which y'all know I go through my phases with highlighter. Some days I'm like, yeah, let's wear it, and some days I hate it. But I've been wearing it lately again. I don't know if it's just where it's winter and I don't really get like as oily in the winter. So I feel like I can wear it a little bit more. But for today I'm going to be using, I think I'm going to mix Champagne Pop by Becca, which if this doesn't give you back old school YouTube, I don't know what will. And a little bit of Moonstone. This one obviously was my favorite. I used to use this every single day a few years ago. This was definitely an oldie but a goodie for me. I like to mix these two because I really like this color, but it's a little deep for me, so I use Moonstone to kind of lighten it up a little bit. So we're just gonna mix these two together. I'm gonna go with like a really light hand. and keep it mostly at the top. I don't really bring it forward, again, because that is kind of where I naturally get oily, and I just want a little. We're not doing anything crazy. I'm not really into, even when I wear highlighter, I don't love like that beaming highlight anymore. I feel like everyone's kind of moved out of that stage of just not loving like a super beaming highlight. Okay, and for blush, where's my blush? I have Milani Luminoso, which is a blush I used to use all the time. I don't know if I want to use it or not since I wore highlighter. I really like to wear this blush if I'm not wearing highlighter because it definitely has like a sheen to it. I don't know if you're gonna be able to see, but it definitely has like a slight sheen to it. So I don't really wear it if I wear highlighter because I definitely feel like I can get a little bit glowy. So I think I'm gonna use these Sephora collection blushes. These aren't necessarily like old, but I've had them for a while and I haven't used them in a while. So I have English Rose, which looks like that. And I've mentioned before, I feel like English Rose actually pulls a little bit more peachy than Rose on me. Maybe I'm crazy. And then I also have Peach Blossom, which looks like that. Just a standard peach. I think I'm gonna go with English Rose, and I just mix the two colors together. From what I can remember, these are like pretty pigmented. So I'm gonna start at the back and work my way forward. Oh, and real fast, I'm gonna add a little bit of Moonstone just into the inner corner of our eyes on my E36, the one I always use for inner corner highlight. Okay, well, I'm gonna go ahead, go blow dry my hair, and I'll be right back, and we'll do the lips and lower lash mascara. Actually, real fast before I go, I'm gonna spray my face with the Urban Decay All Nighter. Okay, you guys, so I'm back. I blow dried my hair and I changed. So we're gonna go ahead and finish off this look. All I really want to do now is just do lower lash mascara and the lips. So for lips, I've really been using these KKW liners a lot. These are the ones in a gift set. They did like, I don't even remember. Maybe it was like 6 or something. And a lip set, and I've been loving all those colors. But just KKW liners in general are some of my favorites. They're creamy and they last really well, but they're not like ColourPop creamy. If you have a ColourPop liner, maybe you love it. But for me personally, I tend to like MAC liners or NYX lip liners because they are wooden and they're just, I'm able to get more of like a precise lip application. And even though these KKW ones are creamy, they last a really long time and they aren't so creamy that I can't get a precise application. So I've been loving these. But I don't know what I want to use. I think I'm going to go in with, if I can find her. I'm going to go in with Matte Whirl because this is one of my favorites, obviously. It's just like a nice like mauve-y tone, but it still pairs really well with a nude lip. So I love this lip liner. I used to use it all the time. This was my first high-end lip liner and I love every second of it. And I already have a backup of it, so yeah. I'm gonna use this one. And for lipstick, I'm gonna go with Honey Love by MAC and Brave by MAC. So Honey Love is my OG lipstick. I went through an entire tube of this, which for me is really rare since I have so many lipsticks. It takes a while to go through one, but I used to use this one every single day. So it's just like a neutral nude. It has a little bit of peach, but not so much that it just looks peachy because I don't really like peachy nudes. But I am gonna mix it with a little bit of Brave. As you can see, I've made quite a dent in this one. And I just like to blot this lipstick on. And I really love it with the MAC Oral Lip Liner. Oops, I'll have to clean that up. So I'm just gonna mix a little bit of Brave with that. Just add a little pink. Because I really like pinky nudes. Okay guys, so that is the end of this makeup tutorial. I decided just to keep the lips matte just because I liked it better with the eyes. So yeah, I hope you enjoyed this full face of nothing new, and I hope you really like this eyeshadow look. And yeah, thank you guys so much for watching. Hope you guys enjoyed this video, and I'll see you in my next one. Bye!